Alright, next part of my Warner home media collection. We continue with the boring shield tapes now. Starting with Shaft, Warner Brothers Hits tape. Another MGM film that Warner got from Turner back in 1996. They didn't begin releasing their own, but Warner didn't begin releasing their own tapes of the Turner-owned MGM films until after MGM ended its distribution deal with Warner. I'm going to label on this tape because I think we're going to turn the light on the flash for this one. Now something about it makes this look even more like an action movie because you see everything is tilted there. It looks a bit, not sure if it was intentional or not, but it's very interesting nonetheless. And the print date on this tape is May 10th, 2000. This is the original Shaft. This would later be remade in the same year by a different company nonetheless. Here's a tape from the Classic Musicals collection. This I think was a briefly lived continuation of the MGM musical series by Warner after they got a hold of the old MGM musicals. And this is Take Me Out to the Ball Game with Frank Sinatra, Esther Williams, and Gene Kelly. Frank Sinatra did a lot of musicals for MGM back when he was a hero for Bobby Soxers, as the teens of that time were known. This has the original theatrical trailer at the beginning, but doesn't say it anywhere on the box. Print date is September 22nd, 2000. Here's a Mary Kay and Ashley Olsen movie. Mary Kay and Ashley Olsen and their company Dual starred a lot of, had a very long and healthy history with Warner Brothers. They got a lot of direct-to-video shows and movies for Warner. This is one of them, Switching Goals. Yep, there's their website, marykateashley.com. Yeah, a little note where the aspect ratio notice would be. There's a little notice down there of an invitation to join the Mary Kay and Ashley fan club down there. Print date, May 15th, 2000. And here we have a demo and an actual release of the film Liberty Heights. Now this is the cover art where Warner was going to be using for this tape of the film. This is a great coming-of-age film. Barry Levinson, made in 1999. It was first shown in Tucson, I think, in May 2000, though. And by this point, they were marking their demo tapes in a particular manner. That would be completely different from how they marked their earlier demo tapes. Like, they just used it for trade use only thing on the spines, and then on the back, they just completely took out the UPC code while using the regular back cover. Their labels kind of changing in the boring shield there. They add the screen copy. The point where I just had the ink label, which had screen copy on there. It portray use only, not for sale, rental, or public exhibition. Home video on the top there. Printing on here is April 1st, 2000. I uploaded the openings to both the demo tape and the actual release at one time. And here's the actual release, which used, as you can see, completely different artwork. Artwork that seemed a bit more accurate than the movie poster. This came from Videosmith in Gloucester, Massachusetts. So there. And the printing on here is June 2nd, 2000. And this tape was released June 20th, 2000. Here's Tom Hanks in The Green Mile. This has the behind-the-scenes documentary at the end. It's from the director of The Shawshank Redemption, Frank Darabont, I think. I've never actually seen The Shawshank Redemption. I am told it is an excellent film, however, and I will make a point of seeing it soon. This is another Castle Rock movie, and those used a C 2000 numbering sequence. And this tape was released on June 13th, 2000. Let me show you the actual tapes here. These are later printings. They were printed on January 8th, 2004. Now, part 1, as you see here, this originally had a dark sticker label on it. I peeled it back and revealed that it was actually taped over another copy of part 1, and yet the label was so clearly visible and so accurately reflective of what was on it that I didn't feel the need to put the dark sticker label back on. Anyway, here's part 2. Here's The Whole Nine Yards with Bruce Willis and Matthew Perry. This was released on July 18th, 2000 on VHS. Another Morgan Creek movie. There's a little thing in there for the water spotlight. Fine, I'll open it up. I'll show you what's in there. This is oh, this is a pretty long booklet. There's an ad for Max Spector and a Samsung DVD player in there. Max Factor. They showed the Max Factor coupon there. Warner Brothers ad for IHOP. Oh, fold out list. Warner Brothers Video Club thing. Healthy choice. Popcorn. tapes in the series, including Iron Giant, Caddyshack, Powerpuff Girls, Birthday Bash, some AOL promo there, Blimpie, Subs and Salads, never heard from them, Club Mad, 1-800 Flowers, Fujifilm, Healthy Choice, and what's on the back of those? Nothing of note from the looks of it. Oh, there's a free CD sampler though. Partnership with Cartoon Network and Kids WB, obviously. Sampler from Kid Rhino. I'm going to try to pull this back up. Give me a minute. Oh. Well, there's an ad for Princess Cruises again. Suppose I'll show that off to you. And the print date on here is March 14th, 2001. Maybe water spotlight. Let me get this back in here. Here's a Warner Brothers Family Entertainment tape of Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, bundled with Horn and Here's a Who. Those are the television specials that Chuck Jones did for MGM. They were based on Dr. Seuss's works. And this was not even the first time they were bundled together. I think the first video release of both specials had them bundled together, and it was titled the Dr. Seuss Cartoon Festival. And then both were released separately on tape. And the print date on here is October 2nd, 2000. And this was released on October 31st, 2000 on VHS. For, I think, the last time on VHS. To coincide with the Jim Carrey Grinch that was released in late 2000 by Universal. And became a holiday favorite of a number of people, even though it was not really widely acclaimed back at the time. But I think a lot of people ended up warming up to it, and it became as frequent. I think it's more frequently, the 2000 film of The Grinch Stole Christmas is more frequently played now than the 65 one. No, the 66 one, rather. Here's a rental version of The Perfect Storm, released on November 14th, 2000. This was a big hit back in the summer of 2000. Of course, starring George Clooney and Mark Wahlberg. It's actually based on a true event that happened in Massachusetts back in 1991 during, what was it, Hurricane Grace. It says there. There's the tape, and the print date on here is September 17th, 2000. And here's a Powerpuff Girls DVD that I have. It's Powerpuff Bluff. And I think a combination of two episodes, two of which received an Emmy nomination, as touted on this panel. It's a combination of at least two Powerpuff VHS tapes were released separately from this, and also features the preview of the cartoon Sheep in the Big City, which was pretty short-lived. It was created by Mo Willems, who later went on to do the longer-running codenamed Kids Next Door for the same network, Cartoon Network. Right here we have Pay It Forward with Kevin Spacey, Helen Hunt, and Haley Joel Osment. And this was released on May 15th, 2001. This has an album from an ad for an album by a group called Coors at the beginning. I don't know if they ever went anywhere. And also has a little PSA at the start that was delivered by star Haley Joel Osment. And here is the tape itself. And the print date on here is November 17th, 2001. Let's see. I have two Powerpuff Girls items. A VHS and DVD. I'm not sure which one to show first. Alright, I'll show you the VHS. Then I have a Powerpuff Girls tape. It's Twisted Sister. This one's from 2001, I think. Yes, it is. Yep. Has a preview of Samurai Jack and a bonus tune of Dexter's Laboratory on it. And that was their slogan, saving the world before bedtime. Print date is September 21st, 2001. Which was approximately 10 days after 9/11. Of course, we'll get to a tape that I have from Warner that was printed on September 11th later. First, I want to show you a DVD I have of the Powerpuff Girls. Another one. That would be the main event. Note the pun. Boy, do I have a hell of a story to tell you about how I got this DVD. I got this all the way back in 2010. I wanted a copy of the Barbra Streisand Ryan O'Neal vehicle, the main event, which was also released by Warner. But my mom said I was too young to watch it. But she knew I was into the Powerpuff Girls, so she bought this. That's a pretty bizarre little story there. Does have some interesting extras, though. We got video bios of the Powerpuff Girls, the Mayor and Mojo Jojo, commentaries on a couple of episodes, the original Powerpuff Girls cartoon, which I think was censored for this DVD, 2 never before seen episodes, the DVD ROM thing, the music video of the Powerpuff Girls. Yep, this was packed. Pelt. There's the disc itself. I love the early 2000s aesthetic that this disc has. Really stepped the art into the 21st century there. And then that's with the 6 episodes there. Oh, here's Swordfish. John Travolta, Hugh Jackman, Halle Berry, and Don Cheadle. Includes a bonus footage with alternate ending. And another Village Roadshow movie. This one has a pretty tragic print date on there. September 11th, 2001. That was pretty sad. And I think we all know why it's sad. By the way, I know what Mr. Enter said about Turning Red. A great film from Pixar. That doesn't have a relation to anything you're looking at here, but does have a relation to the print day in some form. And that would be, of course, you all know that Mr. Enter wanted, you all know by now that Mr. Enter was mad at the film Turning Red because at no point did it evoke the night, or did it make a reference to or otherwise invoke the September 11th attacks. And to that I say, oh, fuck off, Mr. Enter. You're a real party pooper in regards to a fine film like this. And, like Turning Red. And, I'm never going to forgive you for, wanting a fun film like Turning Red to reference something so horrible. It doesn't really need to do that. Well, it really doesn't need to do that. In fact, 9/11, just about the most unnecessary thing to invoke in a film set in 2002 that's meant to be light entertainment. And Turning Red is light entertainment, and it's great entertainment. Alright, let's go back to the Warner DVD collection now. This would be a nice bit of enema to inject into me after I mentioned Mr. Enter's review of Turning Red. The Goonies, the original DVD release of it, from August 21st, 2001. Has both halves of Sidney Lauper's The Goonies in a good enough video, a making of featurette, audio commentary, and they actually did a visual of the commentary on the DVD, which is pretty fascinating. This also has some outtakes on there. And I think this is the first widescreen release of the film on any format outside of Laserdisc. Not sure whether the Laserdisc was in widescreen. It might have, I'm not sure. This was pretty beat up from when I used it a lot, so I may have to get a new copy of the DVD at some point. Other beat up DVD from when I used it a lot is the original 2002 DVD that I had when I was a kid of Sesame Street Presents Follow That Bird. Yeah, just look at the random condition of the artwork by now. That's been beat up a lot. I used it a lot. As for the disc itself, yeah, I mean big myself with this disc. Let's see if you can turn the flashlight on so you can see just how well I used it. I may have to order a new copy of it at some point. I want to watch it again. I want to watch the movie again. And here's House of Wax on DVD. It also includes Mystery the Wax Museum, the Technicolor original that was made in 1933 and was one of the first non-musical films done in Technicolor. So back in the 30s, back in the early 30s, Warner used Technicolor for a lot of musicals, and then people got sick of musicals after a while and associated color with musicals, so they didn't go to color movies And then they found out they had some color films. Warner found out they had some color film stock on it, so they used it for the Mystery of the Wax Museum. Nice too, and this had a good color restoration. I think this is the first release of Mystery of the Wax Museum. I don't think this got a VHS release, but House of Wax certainly did. And the House of Wax was done in 3D, I reckon, but the 3D effects have been lost to time, unfortunately. The 2003 release of that, and this seems to be slipping a little bit. A little too into DVD there, the DVD stash there. Let's go back to the VHS, and here's Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., Peter Lawford, and Ashley Dickinson in the original version of Ocean's 11. That was made in 1960. And it came back to, I think this got issued a number of times on VHS beforehand. One of course, being in the Night of the Movies series from the Big W era. And then, this would be the final VHS release of the film. And that came out in time with the remake, the first of the newer Ocean's 11 movies that starred George Clooney, a number of his buddies. Print date, manufacturing date is December 18th, 2001, and print date is January 10th, 2002. And here's C-Spot Run, which I think was released on September 4th, 2001 on VHS. Sport One isn't wearing any pants. That's the slogan here. This, I think, has some music videos, which aren't touted anywhere. I think this has a music video at the end, but it's not mentioned anywhere on the box. This has a sticker label on it. I'm pretty sure this was recycled from MGM's final release of Gone with the Wind on VHS. I don't know which part. Forget which part. Maybe 1, maybe 2. But, it was the master that this was recycled from. Print date was July 12th, 2001. Here's a film I think was released in... Well, I'm going to have to look up the release date for this real quick. This was released July 14th, 2001. Valent. I think. Let's see if I have that right. No, it was July 24th, 2001. Sorry about that. Yeah, the Village Roadshow movie. Village Roadshow did a lot of movies with Warner Brothers back in the 2000s. Print date on here is February 27th, 2002. And here we have Heist with Gene Hackman, Danny DeVito, and Delroy Lindo. I think this was released in April 2002. This is one of the rare new releases on Warner's that never had any previews at the beginning. It has a newer Morgan Creek logo on the side. It was produced by Franchise Pictures, which later got into trouble for incorrectly reporting the budget of the infamous movie Battlefield Earth. This has a little slip in there. Buy Heist on video cassette. Get 1 video cassette free by mail. Ads in there: 300 Miles to Graceland, LA Confidential, Absolute Power, Superman movies, Bonnie and Clyde, Dog Day Afternoon, True Romance, He and Unforgiven. A little slip in there. And a random little card in there. Now for the tape itself, which looks like this. And the print date on here is January 30th, 2002. Alright, here's Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I have only 2 Harry Potter movies. This is the first one. And, adapted from J.K. Rowling's franchise. Harry Potter was. Over the at the start of this decade, she became an extremely problematic person. Just insanely problematic. For multiple reasons. Most of them have to do with her being a transphobic putz. And that in turn caused my interest in her work to deplete over time. I'm still going to keep the Harry Potter stuff that I hold on to, just for historical reasons. Probably get additional Harry Potter movies, just again, just for the historical significance that they held. But as far as J.K. Rowling, I want nothing to do with her anymore. The manufacturing date is February 11th, 2002, and the print date is February 18th, 2002. Here's a DVD of the first Gremlins. This is a special edition. Records with feature-length documentaries over 10 minutes of behind-the-scenes footage. It's 2002 market on the back, so this is from August 20th, 2002, as far as the DVD is concerned. Little scene next to the left. This can sell. And here's here's another Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen movie I have on VHS. This one is a direct-to-video movie. When in Rome. Here's the Romans too. I'm gonna finish off that title. Not to be confused with another movie that same name. Came out, I think, in 2010, and I think was one of Touchstone's last movies that they did on their own before they ended up becoming just a generic distribution arm for DreamWorks movies back in the 2010s. Okay, the print date on here is October 28th, 2002. Let's flip through this booklet. We have the video and DVD collection of Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen. There's that. Look at that. A lot of them. And the first 9 movies count, they have DVD counterparts. First 10, actually. And the Mary Kate Ashley Olsen party tapes. Let's see what else this says. Mary Kate Ashley Olsen Sweet 16 for the GameCube and the Game Boy Advance. Mary Kate Ashley Olsen posters. What about girls' dream come true? Back in those days. Mary Kate Ashley in action. The Adventures of Mary Kate Ashley. 2003 calendar. The Solo Time. This was their show on ABC Family for a time. Mary Kate Ashley Olsen albums. Dual Star Records. And Mary Kate Ashley in action on Toon Disney, which was, I think, one of the last shows that Deke ever did. The Deke that did Inspector Gadget. Pull it back up. Here's the VHS and DVD of the Powerpuff Girls movie, released on November 5th, 2002, yeah. I was struggling to remember it. Now, this is the VHS of the film, which has the Dexter's Laboratory short chicken scratch at the beginning. I don't know why I said kitchen scratch there. Here's the now the artwork on this is one I printed myself back in 2016. The tape I got much earlier than that. The actual release on VHS. Anyway, print date September 25th, 2002. Now here's the DVD counterpart. Which has the that plus Cartoon Network sneak peeks, deleted scenes, director's commentary, character commentaries, theatrical trailer, behind the scenes, cast interviews with new animation. Here's the disc itself, and the scene selections. This was a big bomb, unfortunately, when it came out back in 2002. It was not a huge hit back in the summer of 2000. The summer of 2002, there were 2 movies, Hey Arnold and the Powerpuff Girls movie, and both of them were box office bombs, unfortunately. But they were well liked by fans of the television series that they were spun from. Well, mostly, anyway. I'm trying to think. This was, I think, Cartoon Network's only theatrical film. It was a huge bomb in 2002, and it just went right to video pretty quickly after its run. What else am I going to say here? The series was especially popular among Generation Generation X, of course, was the fan base that most clung to this cartoon back in the early 2000s. In fact, I think it had a bigger fan base in Generation X. Among the people who make up Generation X than it did among the youths of the era, which is probably why he didn't do that well. Here's a movie that, having looked it up, came out on the same day and on the same formats as the Powerpuff Girls movie. It's the Divine Secrets of the IS Sisterhood with Ellen Burstyn, Ashley Judd, Sandra Bullock, James Garner, Maggie Smith. Of course, featuring additional scenes in the music video. This, I think, was the only project that Gaylord. This was produced by the Gaylord family, which owned the Oklahoman newspaper and also owned by owned the Ryman Auditorium, and also owned, I think they were the original owners of CMT. Extras around 19 minutes. Print date is October 14th, 2002. Here's the complete first season of South Park. I think this was, I think this may have been the only season of the series that was actually issued by Warner Home Video. All the rest were on Paramount. This was actually meant to be read that way. There's comedies. Time Warner had a stake in Comedy Central from from its inception until 2003, which it would explain why why Warner issued a DVD of the first season of South Park initially. Unfortunately, though, a number of the discs in this set don't actually work. Didn't actually play when I put them in. So this is a defective release. That's gonna inside. And because of the defects in this release, we ended up getting the Paramount DVD of the first season of the show somewhere down the line. Here's a Scooby-Doo tape on Warner Brothers Family Entertainment. Scooby-Doo Winter Wonder Dog. 2002 tape. There's a couple of holiday themed episodes on there. And this was printed on September 30th, 2002. I have a 2003 DVD here. Next of Cahill United States Marshal. One of John Wayne's last movies. There's an audio commentary and the making of featurette on there. 2003 release. Disc itself. There's a What's New Scooby-Doo DVD. Safari So Goody. And 4 Fantastic Adventures of the television series. There's the 4 episodes, and the disc itself is over here. Now for the complete first season of The West Wing. This was, I think, released in September 2003 on DVD. This is a great series from Aaron Sorkin. One of the best political dramas there ever was. Got a nice worn-out case and a long booklet that I'll go through here. Only downside to this is that they're extremely fragile because they're double-sided DVDs. All of them are. So I have to be really careful with them. We're back to VHS for this next item, which is Cradle to the Grave with Jet Li and rapper DMX. The late rapper DMX. This has one of his music videos at the end. X Gonna Give It To You. Which I'm not going to upload because, well, it's a music video. So it will be... So I expect the video to be extremely harsh as far as YouTube's copyright system is concerned. And this has a couple of Blockbuster dates on there. This was first purchased in Blockbuster on October 20th, 2003, and bought from there again on July 23rd, 2005. So a couple of years apart from each other. So there's a white sticker label on it. And it was printed on July 16th, 2003. This tape came out on August 12th, 2003. And that's all for this part of the video. I'll see you in the next one.